Welcome friends, in this video we're going to be talking about JavaScript functions. It's going to be a short tutorial with a few examples. I'll put the code for this project on GitHub and put it in the description for you to reference below. So let's get started. So what is a JavaScript function? One analogy you could use is JavaScript functions are like verbs. They're take an action or a task of what something you want your code to do. So for example, previously I've talked about var or variables, which are kind of like a noun or a stantiation or some declaration. With a function, you want to take that variable and you want to do something with it, and that's where functions come in. So I'm going to give you a few examples and let's take a look at them. This first example is basically a basic function, and we're going to do some type of greeting. We're going to call function and then we're going to give it a function name, and this could be anything. So what I'm using is who am I? Basic function, I'm going to return a value of who am I. So we'll leave this empty and we're going to console log what message we want to send. And here, I am the Mandalorian. This is the way. So you put that inside the function, but you haven't yet called the function, and that's what we do next. So you call it here, who am I? You leave it blank with the semicolon, and you'll get back, I'm the Mandalorian. This is the way. This is a new function, so I'm going to have a little bit different context here. And so I'm going to give it a new name, but I'm going to use similar syntax. So function, this is going to be a new character. So Yoda reply. Name is a parameter that we're going to be calling. So that's the first one, is parameter. We're going to do the same as before, console.log. I'm going to put some string in there. Save the world you must. And then plus name. So we haven't given it a name, we're just putting the parameter in there, some string plus a parameter. Now, when we call the function, like before we did Yoda reply, that's our function name. We're going to put a string in there, and this is our argument. So an argument is something that you pass through your function when you call it. So think of it as when you're calling it, you pass through an argument, and this argument can be anything. This can change. Whereas a parameter, something that you want to put in the function. We'll go ahead and save and run that. Save the world you must, baby Yoda. So that's the second example. Now the third example, we want to use a return statement, because most of the time with the function, you want to return a value. So far up to this point, I've only done a console.log, which is just outputting a text or logging what's happening. But we actually want this function to do something, and that's where return is. Let me demonstrate that. What I want to do is return a value. So it could be a mathematical equation, adding numbers, multiplying, or in this case, I'm just going to show you how to concatenate two strings. And we're going to return the value and then output it. Similar to before, we're going to use the same syntax. So we're going to have function, we're going to have a new function name. So in this case, I've named it secret formula to save the world. And then I'm going to take two strings, so string 1 and string 2. And the next line, instead of console.log, I'm going to use return, and I'm going to say, what am I going to return? So string 1 and string 2. So that basically, it's going to calculate whatever arguments that I pass and return the value. Now, we've done that calculation, but we haven't actually outputted it to the screen. So we're going to use console.log again. Once we finish the function, we're going to store that in a variable. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take var, take the result, and equal the secret formula, and then I'm going to pass in the two strings that I want to use. Darksaber must not is string 1, string 2, control you. Then, once I've done that, I will console log the result as an output. If I save and run that, you'll see my two strings concatenated together. Darksaber must not control you. That's going to do it for this short, simple video. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any other tips and tricks on JavaScript functions or stuff that you would like to hear more about in the future, I love creating these JavaScript tutorials. So send me your comments below. I'll see you in the next JavaScript Star Wars film production. Bye.